Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I actually don't know quite what these are yet. I've removed them from their exterior packaging, but whatever's in here I'm going to share with you guys here in just a moment. Thanks so much to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. I have a feeling I know who these are from. Whatever they are, I'll make sure that they're linked in the description. It does help this channel when you use those links before you buy something, but that is entirely up to you. So the first one here, I'll move this package off to the side. The first one here is, yeah, I think I'm right. It looks like we have a couple of Kizers. So in the first box, we have something called the Porcupine, 9CR18MOV, and Jade. Okay, let's take a look. Any more seals to get past? No. Oh, yeah, alrighty. Some sort of drop bear cartoon thing. Okay, so this is going to be what appears to be a very, very inexpensive knife, which I think is fine. Yeah, okay. 9CR18MOV is almost certainly, with this build here, almost certainly going to be, the overall build is going to be very inexpensive. You know what's interesting is the liner. There's just a liner on one side, the nested liner for the lock, and it's black. Interesting. Okay. This is definitely the type of thing that we have seen many, many times, but it's done well. The detent is nice. The access to the liner lock is nice. We have a little bit of a, I'm going to call it a Wharncliffe blade. You can call it whatever you want. But yeah, it'll work. And it's not a teeny tiny knife, which has been the trend here, you know, for a while for some reason. We have a mounting position on both sides for the pocket clip. We've got Peel Ply Texture G10. I actually like the Jade, but I would imagine you have a few different options. The other thing I think is worth noting here is that this is quite smooth out of the box. And the flipper tab, you know, detent combination, blade, weight, mass, etc. All that's really good. In fact, I mean, honestly, this is really impressive. Look at this. That's nice. I would hope that they have a very, very low price tag on this knife. I'm wondering if Kizer, not that they haven't, like, you know, kind of experimented with this territory before, but it's always surprised me that Kizer does not tackle this, I'm going to say this $50 territory, because that's right about where this should be, underneath it, in my opinion. I've always wondered why Kizer doesn't tackle it more. They can clearly create a nice knife. In fact, if you're not familiar with Kizer knives, they definitely make nice stuff, right? They make some of the least expensive premium knives that you'll see as far as, like, you know, your Chinese high-end production knives. And then they make some weird stuff in the not quite budget range, but it's also not necessarily an overly premium knife. I mean, if you're new to Kizer, they're definitely worth checking out. I'm going to guess this is definitely more budget, right? All right, and then we have another one here. I wonder if it's the same knife, but like a different color? Or is it? No. This is called the Submarine, okay? This is also 9CR, so this is going to be a budget knife as well. I just realized I opened it on the wrong end. Who's doing the artwork here? Huh, interesting. Okay, so the next one. Oh, yeah. So I wasn't sure. I didn't look up the size here. People are always confused, especially there are folks, so many folks on Reddit who are just so confused about the way that I do my content. So this is an unboxing. And first impressions. I have no, you know, I didn't know that these were necessarily coming. I didn't, you know, study these. When I do the full reviews after I've had a chance to actually experience them, then I review it. Because reviewing something the moment that you take it out of the box is silly. I mean, think about it, right? So if you're watching this and you're like, why doesn't he know anything? This is a terrible review. It's because I don't know anything, and that would be a terrible review. Do you want to watch somebody review a product the moment that they unbox it? No, I like to share the unboxings are more just like me experiencing something for the first time, and then letting people watch me do that and sort of experience it with me. I've always enjoyed doing it that way. But I don't want to actually review the products until I've had a fair chance to experience the design in the pocket and, you know, everything else about it, right? So the Submarine, for some reason, it does look like a submarine. I wonder why all of a sudden they have a knife called the submarine. Sometimes I think that there's a little bit of SEO and keyword, intentional keywords in the names of these things. It is a little bit different, and it's got a little hole here. It's interesting. Kizer, if you can do this and nobody, Spyderco, is going to get on you, you should be doing this more often, like holes up here, because this works. The D10 on this is super nice. It's a really simple knife, but it's got a little bit of character to it, and that hole is placed in a position that makes it very easy to reverse flick. Classic handle profile. I mean, this handle could literally have a number of different blades attached to it. But I was thinking that this was going to be like a lot bigger. And I think that would have been cool. This is fine the way that it is. I think this is probably about a 7.5-inch knife. Let's take a look here. Not even. 7.35. Blade length is 3 1/4. Cutting edge 3 1/8. Not bad though, and interesting. I just think this would have translated a little bit better as a bigger knife. I also think the leverage off of that hole would be a little bit better. The D10 is pretty strong. I mean, it's, it's relative, right? For the size, the position of the hole and the size of the blade and how much leverage you need to get it out of there, right? For the flipper tab, I think it's perfect. If the blade were a little bit larger, I think you'd have a little bit better lift here, right? I guess it depends. It's the position of the hole in relationship to the pivot and then the strength of the D10. But it's pretty good. Yeah, plenty sharp right out of the box. Again, I would hope and assume that these would be, let's say, around the $50 territory, preferably under it, because the build here, it's a single, it's just a piece of G10. No complicated, there's nothing complicated here, right? This isn't like complex machining or anything like that. They have a nested steel liner, right? Simple pocket clip, standoff construction. We have there's nothing extra here. So in my opinion, these should, especially, the 9CR 810MOV is a decent steel. It's better than the 7CRs, the 8CRs, right? But I'm thinking sub 50. And, knowing Kizer, that's probably the case. It's just a guess at the moment here. So, the other one I think is a little bit bigger. It's probably 7 3/4. No, I'm stupid. It's actually 8 1/8. So there you go. Okay. So once again, we have the porcupine and the submarine. I don't know why we're calling this one the porcupine. I guess that was just an animal that a knife had not been named after yet. Which is funny. I can't, it's strange the number of knives that have not been called the porcupine. I mean, both things are sharp. It's stupid. It's just a funny. Okay. Anyways, these are probably, I'm sure they're both available, so I'll link them down below. They will get their own reviews down the road a bit. That's going to be it for today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.